Greetings everyone, TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central, welcoming you back to TC's Vinyl Archive. I'm hoping I'm not going to have camera problems. I've been having camera problems since Camo did an update earlier this week, and hopefully it will get straightened out soon. I'm here for the second half of my contemporary instrumentals. This is episode number 20, I believe, and we stopped at L on the last one, which should have been up yesterday, or Friday, whichever. We're going to pick this up here with the M's and going through the Y's because I don't have any Z's. And I hope you like what you see. It's a mix of all different types of instrumental music. Rock music that's instrumental is usually with my male or group artists, but some of it is here, and I just feel like it's easier for me to find this way. We will start with this, and I admit I had a single or two by this gentleman. But I bought the album cover. I bought the album strictly for the cover and the audacity of it. It's often thought of as one of the worst album covers of all time. I'm not sure what year it was. I think it was 72 or 73. Herbie Mann, Push Push. Herbie is a flautist. If you don't know him, jazz flautist. He did a lot of disco music too. What a cover. I mean, it doesn't get any better on the back either. Picked this up from Adam at Record Crate a few years ago. Love it. It is in great shape, and it's great, great music. Next up, this is the only thing I have on vinyl by this group, but I have several CDs. This is Mannheim Steamroller and Saving the Wildlife. It is the soundtrack from the television specials of the same name. Several music. It should have been the soundtracks. No, it should be with Mannheim Steamroller. I have it for a reason with it, because I'd never find it if it was in the soundtracks. I do make little exceptions, you know. Next up, Paul Muriat. Paul Muriat's original album, Blooming Hits with Love is Blue. I picked this up from Dawn when she had it for sale at a great price. I always love Dawn stuff because she play grades everything, and her grade is spot on. This has, in addition to Love is Blue, it has Something Stupid, Penny Lane, there's a kind of Hush, Puppet on a String, another Eurovision hit. Really great stuff from Mr. Muriat. And this one is Theme from a Summer Place. This came out in 1973, according to the copyright on it. This has mostly movie themes. But also, another reason I like Paul Muriat, he uses a lot of Eurovision covers. His cover of the 1972 winner, Après Toi, is on here. A lot of great stuff, Day by Day, Theme from a Summer Place, a lot of great stuff from Mr. Muriat and his orchestra. Next up, Concord Jazz. I had this when I was in my 20s and I worked at Buzzard's Nest. I had seen the gentleman numerous times. Johnny Carson used to love him, and he was an incredible performer. The album that I had at the time I had to return because it was off-centered, pressed. When Adam had a copy for sale, I grabbed it, and it plays beautifully. Thank you, Adam. Ron McCrovey plays Puccolo. Puccolo is his lips. He is a whistler, and he is amazing. Lots of good stuff on that. Now, my Miko collection. You guys have seen me talk about Miko on Influencers. I still need to fill in a few spots. I haven't picked up American Werewolf in London or the 10-inch Empire Strikes Back yet, and a couple other ones, but I have most of the other ones. Encounters of Every Kind from late 1977. This is my favorite album. It's done as a time machine type thing. Very Doctor Who for a country that was just getting introduced to Doctor Who in 1977. This has his hit single, Theme from Close Encounters. Ewok Celebration from 1983 features that track. Also covers of Superman 3, Flashdance, Lopty Neck. One of the songs on this album, I forget which one. I want to say it's Nights Are Forever, by which has who's the vocalist on that? Nights Are Forever War Game, sung by Garbo, who was a disco star at the time, and it's Maniac and Simon, where a newly signed Kenny G makes his contribution evident. Moondancer, the one Miko album that wasn't tied to a movie in some way. This is all original disco music. Moondancer is played quite frequently on Disco Party. Has his version of Spooky on here too. Love Me Dracula, a lot of great stuff. His Pop Goes the Movies album, which is his movie medley. Everything from practically, I'm going to just show it to you. There's a list of the songs from movies of all eras. Music from Star Trek, music from the Black Hole. Side 1 is Star Trek, Side 2 the Black Hole. Great stuff on here. The song Clear Motion from the Black Hole reminds me very much of the theme from The Tomorrow People, a 1973 British television series, which I am a big fan of. I did not like, and absolutely loathe the CW remake of it. Great version of the theme from Star Trek on here, complete with a alien rap in the center. The album that started it all, this is Miko, Star Wars, and Other Galactic Funk. There are people in the vinyl community that hate this album, and those people are truly, truly missing something special. I love this album. It got me through some really bad times when I was in junior high and high school. No, I was in high school. Didn't come out till I was a freshman. Really great stuff. And Miko, Superman and Other Galactic Heroes from 1979. Mostly his version of the Superman music on side 1, and original themes for The Boy Wonder, The Cape Crusader, Lord of the Jungle, and The Amazing Amazon on side 2. And finally, Miko, The Wizard of Oz. Both sides are incredible interpretation of that movie's score. Really terrific stuff. Miko is an acquired taste. I acquired him very early on. We lost him in 2021, I believe. He was just one of my all-time favorites. Next up, this is actually, I'm going to look at the album cover because I can't remember who the artist actually is. I believe it's Mike Melvin. Yeah, that's what I thought. All of this is done on synthesizer. And I picked this up from Adam, and it is absolutely delightful. The Plastic Cow goes moog. It is classical, not classical, but pop songs and originals, if I'm not mistaken, done entirely on the Moog synthesizer. This one is something I picked up from Dawn on auction years ago. The World's Most Beautiful Merry-Go-Round Music. And I forget why it's in the M's. I guess I just put it under merry-go-round music because there's no artist listed. And it is literally what it says it is. Calliope music. MFSB. This is the second album, I believe, from 1976, I think. Let me check. No, this is the first album from 1973, but this is not the one that has their big hit on it. This has their versions of Backstabbers and Family Affair and Freddy's Dead. MFSB, Mother, Father, Sister, Brother, was the house band for Philadelphia International Records and would later have a monster hit of their own, TSOP, The Sound of Philadelphia, with the 3 Degrees doing vocals. Great, great soul funk music from the 70s. Frank Mills, Music Box Dancer. Picked this up from Adam, I believe. Has his hit The Poet and I, which was the original A-side before Music Box Dancer started getting airplay. It was originally the flip side. Frank, of course, way better, more successful in Canada than the US, but Music Box Dancer was a number 3 hit in the middle of the disco years. Switched on Rock, the Moog Machine. This is more Moog orchestra stuff, type stuff. Spinning Wheel, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Yummy, 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 Hey Jude, You Keep Me Hanging On, all played on the Moog synthesizer. Excuse me. That wasn't even a burp. I don't know what that was. There's so many multiple record sets, I have trouble lifting him up. I discovered this gentleman, who is considered a lounge music musician. Because of my step-grandfather. I told you my step-grandfather had given me some albums when we were going through the groups and we got to Red, White, and Bluegrass. He's the one that turned me on to this gentleman. I don't have the one that he had on 8-track, but I picked up some since then because I love him. And I think most of this comes from Adam at Record Crate. Tony Mottola, Lush, Latin, and Lovely. This is Enoch Light Presents on Enoch Light's Project 3 label. Classic stuff like Can't Take My Eyes Off You, The Girl Next Door, Sunny, Something Stupid, done with a Latin style. Then there is Tony Mottola and the quad guitars. 4 of America's great guitarists joined Tony, plus an all-star rhythm section. That's the cover I remember, but the songs on this are not the same. But it's all fantastic. And Enoch Light again produced his version of Classical Gas, Over the Rainbow, Moonlight in Vermont. Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head, which obviously puts it at 1969 at least. And I would get more, if I could, by this gentleman. This is Going Out of My Head, another popular album from Tony. Great guitar versions of Impossible Dream, Dream a Little Dream of Me, Guantanamera, Going Out of My Head. Just exquisite guitar lounge stuff. These in the right direction? I did. Walter Murphy. This is not what you think it is. This is Themes from E.T. and More. Came out in 1982. Walter doing his versions of E.T., Close Encounters, Jaws, Star Trek, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Superman, and Poltergeist. It has that same Fifth of Beethoven quality to it. I have a couple of tapes by him, too. This one is the first of several I picked up from Adam from the Muzak system. These are, I don't know who the artists are, so I've classed them all under Muzak. I have a Sebring also. We'll talk about Seberg in a minute. One of these actually is not the album that it says it was on the outside. And I'm not sure which one. Caring for People. And most of these are original songs or new versions of popular songs that you would hear in a department store. This has Love Song, You Don't Bring Me Flowers, I Do, I Do, I Do, I Do, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, and a few other things on it. This one is More Than Music. Features Frank Chaxfield, Sid Dale, Sven Liebeck, and a number of other people. Some of the same songs from this last album are on this, including Desiree. Also sung Blue, The Way I Want to Touch You, Old Cape Cod, and a bunch of other stuff. Stimulus Progression features Feelings, Go Away Little Girl, Welcome Back, Let Her In, Fascination, Love Hangover. The version of Love Hangover is interesting. Let's put it that way. This one, Muzak, Music of the 80s. Adam even had the business card with it. This has Endless Love, Betty Davis Eyes, Magnificent Seven, which I don't think is from the 80s. Blue Bayou, again, not from the 80s. Arthur's Theme, Born Free, also not from the 80s. These are all just your typical beautiful music, Muzak department store, Sears Music that Kim calls it. More Than Music and Environment. This is after they'd launched their satellite service, as you can see from the sticker up there. More stuff from Dick Hyman. New edition. I don't think it's that new edition. Sid Dale Orchestra. Strings Unlimited, so on and so forth. Stimulus Progression 5. As I said, one of these is not what it says it is. I think that might be this one. Let me see. Where are you? Yeah, this one has Stimulus Progression 6 in the cover. So it's actually the following album. But Stimulus Progression 5, the one I don't have, includes The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, How Little We Know, I Am Woman. The actual album I have features Birthday at the Ballroom, more original stuff on that one, along with Loving You, Leave Me Alone, A Whole Lot of Sunshine, stuff like that. Those are the Muzak albums. Oh, wait, I think I have one more here. Whoops. Did that wrong. Gotta give them in the right order or they won't go back on the shelf properly. Is this one too also? No, this is one of the ones I have that I bought from Dawn of the Mystic Moods Orchestra. Love these guys. They mix in sound effects and all kinds of stuff with what they do to set a whole mood. This one is Extensions, and it features California Dreamin', Norwegian Wood, MacArthur Park, Paul Simon montage, a lot of other stuff. And English Muffins, the Mystic Moods Orchestra. This one, I believe I bought. It's not here, so I think it's in my current pile that I haven't listened to. I believe I bought Stormy Weather from them also, from Dawn, because I love that one. This, again, contemporary versions with Mystic Mood style stuff. England Swings, Early in the Morning, Ticket to Ride, Words, mostly stuff from the Beatles or Bee Gees. Why it's called English Muffins. Sandy Nelson, guitar. Is he I forget. Is he drum or guitar? Again, stuff from the '60s, popular covers of stuff. As you can see, all the titles there. He was best known for Teen Beat, if I'm not mistaken. Peter Nero, Summer of '42. That was a huge hit for him in that year, '72, when it came out on Columbia. Bought this from Dawn. A lot of film music. For All We Know is here. We've Only Just Begun. A lot of Carpenter stuff, too. Greatest Science Fiction Hits from Neil Norman. This is Volume 1. There's actually 2 more volumes I never bought. These were advertised on television on WTBS back in the 80s. That's where I picked up the first one. It has some original stuff, but it mostly is synthesizer rock versions of Moonraker, Alien, Godzilla, Phantom Planet, One Step Beyond, Outer Limits, so on and so forth. Now, I didn't grab them all. Hang on, I'm going to grab them all together. I have a ton of stuff by the 101 Strings. As I've said before, I grew up with this stuff. My mom was a huge fan of beautiful music radio. And so I have, what did I do? I mixed everything up here, didn't I? Yeah, I mixed these all up. I'll have to sort them later. I'm sorry. But these are all the ones. Most of these I bought from Dawn, but I had a couple of my own also. This is 101 Strings doing George Gershwin. 101 Strings Hits of Today and Other Instrumentals. This price tag. Does anybody recognize this price tag? This reminds me of the price tag they used to have at a department store in Newark, Ohio called Twin Fair. I think there was 5 or 6 of them. I don't know where this came from. Obviously, Dawn had it. She was based in Michigan. I don't know where she got it, but I would bet it came from one of those stores. Stephen Foster. 101 Strings doing Stephen Foster songs. Victor Herbert doing stuff that was inspired by Victor Herbert's various things there. Million selling hits of 1967. Born Free, My Cup Runneth Over, Georgie Girl, This Is My Song, Something Stupid. I had this before Dawn gave it to Dawn came along. I bought this way back in 75 or 76. Movie themes, hits from main themes from hits movies, and I got it because it had the music from Airport 75 and Earthquake on it, which disaster movie fan, and it has original movie themes which are not real themes. They're stuff that sound like they could be, basically. Million seller hits, The Sound of Magic. Sound of Magnificence. You can see the titles there. John Philip Sousa and George M. Cohen. In other words, the soundtrack to Doc Savage. And 101 Strings in a Symphony for Lovers. This was basically their version of the Jackie Gleason stuff. Um, Mostly classical music. And finally, The Sugar and Spice of Rudolph, I can't read that, Fremmel, conducted by Rudolph Fremmel. So this is possibly original stuff. I don't really remember any of these songs other than hearing them on this album. Like I said, I had lots of 101 strings. Jean-Luc Ponty, Imaginary Voyage, picked this up from Dawn. Love him. He is just amazing. I had some digital stuff from him. And when the album came up, I grabbed it. This is another gentleman I have a lot of stuff on digital by or CD. Television composer is what he's best known for. This is Mike Post and television theme songs. This is the EP. There's only 6 songs that had the 2 hits. Actually 3, because the one that is actually on here, I don't know if that's actually the vocal version or not. I don't remember. It's been a while. Hill Street Blues and Magnum P.I. were both hits on his own. The theme from The Greatest American Hero, which he wrote, was a hit around the same time, but I don't think this is Joey Scarberry's version. I think it's an instrumental cover. Living Strings featuring Bob Ralston at the organ in Twilight Time. I bought this from Adam because I actually met Bob Ralston when I was 5 years old. He was playing organ at a local lounge in Moses Lake, Washington. Apparently he was there visiting friends or something, because at the time he was a featured star of the Lawrence Welk Show. Later on, though, he got into quite a bit of legal trouble, and I'm not going to talk about it on this show. If you want to know what it was, go look his Wikipedia up. It's pretty damn nasty. Boots Randolph, I have several of his. I got all these from Dawn, I believe, because my mom was a Boots fanatic. She had several singles, which I've never found, and he was just terrific. This is from the late 70s. Put a Little Sax in Your Life. Features his versions of Moving On Up from the Jeffersons, Tie a Yellow Ribbon, You Light Up My Life, Feels So Good, Love Will Keep Us Together, the Sanford and Son theme, and others. Sweet Talk from 1965. This was after his big hit, and it's basically new original stuff on the sax. And a sort of greatest hits album, and I didn't really class it that because he never had hits with these, but they're well-known songs, and it doesn't include yakety sax. I'm like, why not? The World of Boots Randolph, double record set, featuring Bridge Over Troubled Water, Gentle on My Mind, Wichita Lineman, Elusive Butterfly of Love, Misty, and other things. Yeah, I hate that song. It's one of my absolute hate songs. Next up, Rhythm Heritage. This is the album which features their #1 hit, the theme from SWAT. It also has Beretta, Keep Your Eye on the Sparrow, and a bunch of disco music. David Rose, the stripper, everybody knows this. It was part of my semi-quincentennial sensations. It's your typical music from the MGM, head of the MGM orchestra. Lee Ritenour, this is the album, I believe, that included, let me see, is it not? No, this is the follow-up. This is the later album, Rit 2. This does include several big hits on the smooth jazz charts, including Cross My Heart and On the Boardwalk. Lovely Ritenour, and his music is just fantastic. Don Grusin does keyboards on here, and Ritenour does guitars and keyboards. The Orchestral Tubular Bells, arranged for orchestra by David Bedford and performed by the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra with Mike Oldfield on guitar. It's not the original, but it's pretty damn good. Home to the Sea, the San Sebastian Strings. Now, this is classed as an instrumental album, even though it has chorus music on it. Anita Kerr singers are on here. They don't do all of the songs, and the words, when they do, are by Rod McEwen. I didn't feel like it should fit in the groups, so I put it here. I picked this up off of Bandcamp. This gentleman is incredible. Patrick Sansone and Infinity Mirrors. Oh, this dude is awesome. And I don't remember how I was turned on to him. I don't think Carlson was the one that turned me on to him. But ambient, new age with rock bent guitars and synthesizers. Phenomenal. This is the Sebring music background library I have an album by. The Now Sounds Volume 2. It's library music. A lot of the greats, there are songs that you might know, moment by moment to moment. What are you doing the rest of your life? Close to you. We've only just begun. Typical music from the other company. 16 greatest performances, Doc Severinsen. This is all pretty much standard trumpet music from Severinsen. I have a great single by him called Melody that was not a big hit in 1977, but it did do on the AC chart a little bit, and I love that song. He was just one of the best when it came to the trumpet. This gentleman is a trumpeter by trade. I knew him as a singer. He was also an actor and a comedian. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised when I picked this up. This is Jack Sheldon and his all-star band. Jack playing his best at the trumpet. He was a regular in the Mort Lindsay Orchestra on the Merv Griffin Show throughout the 60s and 70s. Jack is best known as a singer for I'm Just a Bill and Conjunction Junction from Schoolhouse Rock. He also did the parody on The Simpsons, which I thought was hilarious. It was a parody of the I'm Just a Bill one. And he was an actor in something called Run Buddy Run back in the 60s. Great trumpet music from him on that. Sounds in Space. This came from Dawn. Dawn played this on her Weird Album Wednesday. Great, typical space age bachelor pad stuff. Chris Ferris, Pathways to Surrender, incredible instrumentalist. I actually got razzed by Spotify on my Spotify year-end thing last year for listening to too much Chris Ferris. I love this dude. He's awesome. There is some controversy about this woman. Some people say she's a fraud. Everything I've said the fraud theory is wrong. This is Uma Sumac and Legend of the Sun Virgin. I have another copy I got from Dawn a few months ago. This is actually from Record Crate. The story is she was just a housewife named Amy Camus. But according to everything I can find online, she has a lineage. It is traceable. She actually did come from Peru. And incredible vocal and instrumental stuff. Again, space age bachelor pad type stuff. And 2 albums by one of my favorite synth groups, Synergy. This is electronic realizations for rock orchestra. And this one I actually also have on tape. This is Sequencer. It includes their incredible all-synth version of Classical Gas, one of my all-time favorite songs. Man, these are good albums. Next up, Tangerine Dream. I have most of my Tangerine Dream on CD. But I have picked up a couple we'll show you in the Record Store Day stuff, and these two, one of which came from, I think they both came from Black Box. I'd not heard them until I received them. Ultima Thule This was originally released, I believe, in the 1970s, and it is incredible. It's Tangerine Dream. It's not going to be anything less than incredible. And Out of This World, released in loving memory. This is a limited edition, number 682 out of 5,000. It was released in 2015. This also came from Black Box. Grab this last bit of it here so I can do it all at once. The Warren Schatz Universal City Orchestra, Stuck on TV. This is a dance album of TV themes done the way Stars on 45 and Miko's Pop Goes the Music movies is. It's all TV themes that have been put into a dance medley. Stuck on TV, stuck on westerns, stuck on sitcoms, stuck on detectives, ad nauseum. It's pretty good. The newest Sound of Debussy by Tomita. Incredible way to do this. Love this dude. Everything he does is so cool. I'm a sucker for synthesizers. What can I say? Kettle drums, brass and Paris in progressive sound. Gaite Parisienne, the Amleto Toscali, conducting the International Festival Orchestra under Toscali. I'm trying to remember if there's any particular titles off this. They don't list them on the back of the album that are really well known. Yeah, and actually, technically, I'm actually wondering if this is a radio transcription. It doesn't say it is, but it doesn't list any of the music. So it could be. Full Frequency Sound Stereo Records. The only album I have on vinyl by this gentleman, I have 10 of his CDs. I love this dude. Again, I'm a sucker for synthesizers. This is the original album that made him a musical star. He was already well known as a sportscaster and as the host of Entertainment Tonight. This is John Tesh and Tour de France. Music he wrote for CBS's coverage of the Tour de France bike race. Incredible album. And another one I've done an influencers on, a gentleman who I can never get enough of. I have most of it on CD, but his first 4 albums I have on vinyl too. This is Andreas Vollenweider. This is Caverna Magica. Under the Tree in the Cave. This is his second album. Down to the Moon, my favorite of his first 4. Caverna Magica is the third. No, it's second. That's right. Down to the Moon was the third album, I think. It was the third album. This is my favorite of all of them. Incredible music. This is his debut album, Behind the Garden, Behind the Wall, Under the Tree. And White Winds, the 4th album. I have a bunch of other ones on CD. Andreas Vollenweider plays electroacoustic harp. And it is done... Moondance actually could qualify as a dance song. The man is a genius. I missed the chance to see him in concert about 20 years ago when he was here in Boston. We just couldn't afford the tickets. I love Andreas Vollenweider. A couple of various artists' albums, for one. This is something I picked up a couple years ago from Kill Rock Stars Records. This is music inspired by Dungeons & Dragons Spelljammer, Adventures in Space. It is D&D Spelljams. It includes a number of different acts that do this kind of music, and it is a very interesting album. It's a 4-record set. There is a booklet that comes with it. I didn't want to take it out of the gatefold, but it is fabulous. This one is the other one I have that's of various artists. Imaginations, Further Reflections, instrumental hits by the original artist. This was seen on TV, and you could buy it from your local television station. Buy it before midnight tomorrow. It includes some well-known stuff and some not-so-well-known stuff, and artists that you know, including Giorgio Moroder, Vangelis, Clannad, James Galway, Zamfir, Philip Glass, Elton John, Billy Joel, Lee Ritenour, Richard Clayderman, Mark Knopfler. It's an amazing album. Billy Vaughn and his orchestra doing Alfie and other popular songs from film and stage. Now, I had this when I was in my teens and 20s, and I purged it. I did one purge of my collection when I was in my mid-20s, and I've regretted it ever since. I have actually gone back and repurchased a number of those albums. Some of them I didn't care about, but this was one I loved and I got rid of, and I shouldn't have. Calcutta from Lawrence Welk. Love this stuff. Calcutta was a huge hit. Also love his version of Corinne Corinna and Mountain King. Fantastic stuff. Yes, I know you're laughing hysterically. Oh, shut up. This is from the Wilson Lewis Group and Voices. Again, this has some chorus vocals on it. Side 1 is all music from Midnight Cowboy, and side 2, music from the Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Pretty good stuff. It was one of those like 99-cent albums. This one is another artist I love from Bandcamp, and he is an award-winning film composer and original music composer. This is Michael Whalen and Sacred Spaces. This dude and his keyboards are phenomenal. I purchased, I think this is the only one I got on vinyl. Most of the other ones I bought on CD with the download, and the dude is just amazing. Mason Williams and Mannheim Steamroller teaming up for their classical gas combo. Mason Williams, of course, had the huge hit with it in 1968, and their redone version with Chip Davis and his group was just fantastic. And Mason is the first artist here, which is why this is not with Mannheim Steamroller. It includes a brand new version of classical gas, Green Sleeves, otherwise known as What Child Is This? And a bunch of other stuff. Some of it is original and other covers. It's phenomenal. How am I doing on time? A little over. Roger Williams, songs of the fabulous 50s. His wonderful work on the keyboards, of course. He is a marvelous guitar player. Yeah, his marvelous work on the keyboards. He's a marvelous guitar player. Piano player. Honest to cripes. There are the tunes that he does on this album. Best known for Born Free and Autumn Leaves. Really great album. And finally, this is the oldest instrumental album in my personal collection that I personally bought. This was 99 cents. It's a budget album. And my mom bought it for me when I was 6 years old because I wanted it. It had all these cool songs on it. And I love this kind of music. And she's like, well, it's just instrumental. And I'm like, yeah. This is The Young Lovers and Love is Blue, Green Tambourine. Really terrific music. It was played out the wazoo. I don't know if you can see how scratched up it is. I still play this. I still love their cover of Love is Blue. And it is magnificent. That is going to do it for the contemporary instrumental stuff, and with a few chorus things. Next time, when we reconvene here, I will be bringing you... It's going to be a longer show because I'm going to do both cubes. It's a cube and a half. All my Record Store Day titles. Everything I've purchased on Record Store Day in the past 5 years. And there's a couple in there that I think I got from earlier from other people. But most of them are from 2020 on, when I first joined the vinyl community and got really involved. So the last 6 years, I didn't buy anything this year. I didn't have the money. And there wasn't really much I wanted. I know there was a lot everybody else wanted. I didn't really see anything I absolutely had to have. After that will be, I think, the greatest hits collections are next. That will again be a long show. It's a cube and a half. And then, I'm not sure what's next. I think it's my radio transcriptions. That won't take very long because there's a lot. It's a cube and a half, but each thing is 4 or 5 albums, and they're in boxes, so it will actually won't take that long. and then 12-inch singles and a few of the other miscellaneous stuff, plus Kim's album collection. All yet to come, plus stuff. I have a pile here I haven't put in Discogs yet. That's going to be part of the Oob Cube, which is stuff I haven't listened to yet or I bought recently. So it's all coming up, and we're going to have it all done in the next month, I hope. Thank you for watching, and if you continue to watch, I hope you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do. Please like, share, and comment. Comment. I want comments. Do you think I want comments? I want comments. If you could see for fit to donate to our GoFundMe, we'd really appreciate it. We're trying to get balanced out. It's starting to ease a little bit, our financial bind, but not enough to, we definitely could use some more help. And if not, we have stuff on sale at our merch store, t-shirts and the like, and we also have a Ko-Fi, a GoFundMe, a Buy Me a Coffee, and a Patreon. So please think about donating. Until next time, for the next edition of the TC's Vinyl Archive, the complete albums collection, I'm TC Kirkham, TKR Video Central. I will see you on the interwebs. Ciao, baby.